Welcome back, folks. Hope you're all keeping well. So I'm excited to say we've got another new artist on the channel today. This is Sid Arthur, and the song is Ode to the Summer. So this is another brand new band to me. Never even heard of them before. This request comes from one of my VIP Elite patrons, Jamie Lynch. And Jamie has a track record already of picking some bangers, so looking forward to this. If you're enjoying the content and you'd like to help support the channel, please do consider supporting me on Patreon. You'll find the links in the description below. For some other ways that you can support the channel, we've got Buy Me a Coffee, and you can check out some of my original music on the Ripple Face Bandcamp page, which is below as well. Thank you to everybody who's been checking out my original music and my covers and things like that on YouTube as well. So it's nice to see some of you are digging around the channel a little bit there and find some stuff. Yeah, so anyway, without further ado, let's get to this. Frozen till the rain is pouring. So what you know, the nights go cold. Did you make the most of it? Oh, to the summer, this feeling. Be sure to remember me. I need to know that you'll come back after winter's rest and spring. Frozen till the rain is pouring. As winter calls, nature shouts that summer must end. So what you know, the nights grow cold. Did you make the most of it? Oh, grey clouds are forming in the skies to the east. Summer, this feeling, and be sure to remember me. I need to know that you'll come back after winter's rest and spring. Don't leave me tonight in this cold light. I'm not ready for you to go, no. Hold on until tomorrow, one more day or two, then you're gone. The summer, this feeling, be sure to remember me. I need to know that This was fresh, this one. Absolutely something different for the channel. Glad to see it. Some really interesting things happening with the drumming and that. Um, Obviously very riff driven with the guitars providing a lot of the sort of the driving force, but some of the syncopations and like that sort of hemiola effect on the ride cymbal during the chorus. And then there's even some bars of 7/4 in there, or 3/4 followed by 4/4, whatever way you want to count it. But sort of attributes that would be, I don't know, you could say maybe a little proggy in some ways, or very folksy, particularly the 70s kind of folk stuff, which is a lot less strict in terms of its meters, where you would be like, just in 3/4, 4/4, whatever. Singer-songwriter stuff back then could often have bars of 5/4, even if it's just one bar as a transition bar. So the way that the timing and the metrics are used in this is reminding me more of that sort of the freeness in the sort of folky scene, and some of the prog stuff that you get, particularly in the 70s. Really love the production as well. Lots of very sounding more like fuzz rather than overdrive used on the guitars. I could be wrong, but that sort of break-up sound sounds more like a fuzz pedal to me. Other folky things that we noticed there was I think it's a mandolin on the right side. It was brought in later on in the song, which seemed to be was kind of interesting, not only to get the mandolin and it's panned hard right, but it's sort of against the bass. So bass guitar, electric bass guitar with a mandolin at the same time, that's fresh. Like, I can't remember the last time I heard those two instruments sharing a sort of isolated moment in a song like that. The vocals reminded me a little bit of David Gray at the beginning, but as it went on, I kind of lost that. I was getting vibes from the singer of there is another artist, but I can't think of them off the top of my head. So let's run it right through again and dig in a little bit deeper this time, see what we got. Interesting use of that. It's very pentatonic driven, and it's got it's rooted in blues, from what I can tell with the harmony. I'm not actually not convinced if that is a fuzz pedal or not. It'd be very difficult to tell. If I was to put my money on it, I would go with like a Fender Telecaster, possibly, into like a sort of an amp that's breaking up. Maybe one of those twin reverbs or something. It definitely doesn't sound like like an Axe-Fx or something. But you never know. You never know. Those things are so good nowadays that this could have been recorded in a bedroom just using the same sort of gear I have. But it definitely sounds quirky in terms of its tones. Interesting the way the second guitar comes in halfway through that riff as well. Then the harmony. I look to the sky with sunken eyes. So there's a couple of different ways I guess you could count this. It kind of strikes me as polyrhythmic in a way. So, I feel it as 3/4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That could also be 6/8. So the vocals sound like they're in 3 time. Da 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 da. It's playing. It's like simple time over compound time, because if you listen to the hi-hats, da 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 da. Now, of course, you could say that it's in 3/4 and there's triplets being used everywhere, but it sounds like 2 different time signatures against each other. Might not be. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there you go. That's a vocal. Dun 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 dun. The drum. Da 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 da. To the sky with sunken eyes. Oh, the feeling of summer has left me behind. Out there, this jungle and creeps and it turns. The layered vocals, or sorry, the layered guitars. Da 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 da. It almost makes me think of Brian May, right? Just based on this, Brian May from Queen used his guitar like an orchestra. So very sophisticated guitar parts that Brian was putting in the background. where you would get, sound, he was trying to make his guitar sound like other instruments, make it sound orchestral. The da 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 in this feels to me like it's a guitar substitution of a brass section that isn't there. Da 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 da. Like in my head, I can imagine the brass over that, and it sounds like it's being orchestrated with the electric guitar. And I love that kind of thing, using the guitar to orchestrate music instead of it just playing chords or playing lead. You can layer up all that, and yeah, that's what it's putting me in mind of.
Creeps and it turns. Your vision lies hidden until your return. Winter.
Some nice syncopation there on the da 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 da. It's not coming in on the downbeat. Very groovy. Got mandolins. Winter coat, frozen toad, the rain is pouring. A bit more busy now. It's hard to tell what that is in the right side. It sounds, it could be two instruments. It sounds like a mandolin, but it sounds like there's distortion on it. So I don't know if it's like an electric mandolin with going through a drive, or whether it's two different instruments. But there's definitely something with distortion in there, and yet it sounds organic at the same time. So what the nights go cold, did you make the most of it? There's something else going on with pads there. It almost sounds like a mellotron, something like that. So what the nights go cold, did you make the most of it? Not sure what it is. It's something textural in there. It's some synthesizer, keyboard type thing. It doesn't sound like strings or organ or whatever it is. I don't know. Closest thing I would say is mellotron. And if it's not that, then it's some synth pad kind of thing that's used. You hear little egg shakers in there. You got to get the egg shakers in there and provide a lot of that. My box of this is the studio box. So you're off to the studio and you're recording stuff. This is the essential stuff. You got to make sure you got the shakers, and you got them in different colors. There's different strengths. There's more subtle ones. There we go. And you got this. You gotta get that stuff in there, That's all those little subtle things. There we go. You're privy to my one of my special boxes anyway. That one doesn't have a key to keep it shut. Be sure to remember me, and know that you'll come back after winter's rest and spring. Great use again of the guitars. Electric guitars are very hard panned, playing sort of like if you take them on their own, I know that would sound kind of disjointed. There's a syncopated guitar on the right, like dun 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 dun. It's off, but it sounds like it's playing off what's happening on the left. Dun 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 dun. So you're getting this immersive sort of three-dimensional feeling from different guitar tones. Love this kind of stuff. Like this is. Whenever I'm sitting with Logic and I'm doing my own guitar parts and stuff like that, that's one of my big things, is trying to use the guitar. It comes from the Brian May influence, really. He's probably, he's always been one of my favorite guitarists, if not my favorite guitarist, in that he's not just incredibly good lead solo player, but his use of the guitar within a band. Yeah. So anyway. Winter's rest and spring. Must say, I don't mean this sounds like Brian May. Just hope you understand that. It doesn't sound anything like him. I'm just talking about where it's coming from. The use of the guitar in that sense. The winter's rest and spring. Don't leave me tonight in this cold light. I'm not ready for you to go. No. The vocal there sounds a little bit like the Irish singer-songwriter Damien Rice. who whenever his album O came out, what must be 20 years ago, you know. Got Lisa Hannigan on there as well. It's superb album. Some brilliant songs on that. But yeah, there's a little twang of Damien Rice in the vocal.
Rest in spring. Leading me tonight in this cold light. I'm not ready for you to go. No.
Oh yes, I'm listening to so many different things there, but listen to that ride cymbal. That was the thing with something about the hemiola. Where you get that ride, it sounds like it's in a different meter. You know, it's like a 2 against 3 type thing.
I'm not ready for you to go. No.
Da 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 da. Polyrhythmic. This is groovy, this here. That riff, you know, that riff could easily be on one of the first Led Zeppelin albums, with, you know, like in a big heavy rock setting. Da 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 da. You know, big massive backbeat from John Bonham. Like, you know, it definitely has that 70s feel. A lot more intimate though, in a folky kind of way. Nice hi-hat work. Bringing the bass back in.
So what you know, the nights grow cold. Did you make the most of it? Oh, gray clouds are forming in the skies to the east.
So many guitar tracks on this. There we go, so we're into 7 there. I'll count it out.
In the skies to the east.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1.
Oh, to the summer, this feeling, and be sure to remember.
Something I noticed myself in the first playthrough was the smile. You know, sometimes you gotta listen to music that puts a smile on your face. You know, you just have to. Don't deprive it. Don't deprive yourself of it. I deprive myself of it a lot because I love dark music. But yeah, we need some light stuff every now and again too. This has got a bit of a jaunty step. You know, I like it.
To the summer, this feeling, and be sure to remember me. I need to know that you're gone. Cold light, I'm not ready for you to go. No, hold on until tomorrow. One more day or two, then you're gone. No.
Spend a little bit more attention to the vocals. Are definitely double tracked. You know, there's an octave between them. I'm sure he's singing the lower one and the higher one. We're getting that in unison, not at the same level. What was that? Why am I getting weird noises in here? Oh, it's that air purifier thing over there. It's trying to keep me alive. Got a cold, so yeah, it's blowing steam into the air because like that's going to make a difference. Don't like gadget noises. Freaks me out. Right, pick it up. Yeah, I was saying about the vocals. Doesn't sound like they're equally matched, but there's definitely a thickness to those vocals. Early on in the song, I was getting the impression that it was just a single track vocal, but I don't think it is anymore.
One more day or two, then you're gone.
Yeah, it's layered.
Leave me tonight in this cold light. I'm not ready for you to go. No, no. Hold on until tomorrow. One more day or two.
Big 60s vibes on that, you know, especially with that sort of distorted guitar over there on the left and all that hard pan stuff. Even that mixing puts me in mind of like the early Doors records and things like that. You know, with the excuse me, the Kinks and those kind of bands. It does have that sort of really raw kind of vibe. Even the drums, all the sort of processing on the drums, it's very raw and organic sounding.
the summer, this feeling. Be sure to remember me. I need to know that you'll come back after winter's rest and spring. And leave me tonight in this cold light. I'm not ready for you to go. No, no.
I love the arrangement is where I'm busy, you know, in my mind when I'm listening to it. You know, you've got the main sort of, the vocal hasn't changed that much apart from some embellishments. It's got the same sort of hook carrying us along. Same sort of harmonic content really, but it's just the mixing up of the acoustic guitars, the mandolin, the electric guitars with different effects on them, all the hard panning, even the drums and cymbals sort of coming from different places throughout. We're just getting a very immersive, lovely place to be in listening to it. You know?
Don't lie, I'm not ready for you to go. No, no, no. Hold on until tomorrow. One more day or two. One more day or two. One more day or two, darling. Don't go.
Back to 7 again. Yeah, great fun, great fun. So, what about this band? Fill me in, guys. Sorry, I'm a bit sniffly, coming down with something. Yeah, fill me in. It's not a band I'm familiar with at all. Looks like they've 3.62 subscribers. So I mean, are they independent band? This is released on 2012, so 10 years ago. Not a wild amount of views on here. The next song that's coming up on the list is First Difference with 2.1 thousand. So yeah, head over to these guys' channel and give them some love. Great fun. It's good stuff. Good stuff. And thanks again, Jamie, for the request. So if you enjoyed this video, please do like and subscribe. Hang about, have a rummage through the channel, see what other stuff I've got on there. No prejudices here. We'll listen to anything and everything. Music is music. Take it easy and see you again soon.